Spiritual Teaching 226. Love each other. 1. The Master blesses you, people. I prepare you to recreate yourself with my presence and receive strength to resist the spiritual, moral, and material proofs that are already among you. 2. I have told you much about the trials that were to afflict the world at this time. If you observe, you will contemplate that which have already manifested. Even bigger ones will come tomorrow. You, who have the antidote, can be respected. If you fulfill my mandates, you can order the elements, let them stop, and do no harm to yours. And they as submissive servants will obey. Your power it will reach not only a small portion, but regions and nations will receive a lessening in their affliction by the prayer of the people of Israel. But, alas, of you if you do not remain praying and watching, because then your lack of compliance will weigh on your spirit and you will feel fragile to face the vicissitudes. 3. In this time of meditation and fulfillment, you must prepare yourself to conclude the mission begun in past times. Repair mistakes. Lovingly restore the clarity of your spirit. Your debt is great, because you have not delivered as my emissaries all that I have entrusted to you for humanity. 4. Blessed is he who has faith, but I also bless him who comes to me asking for that precious gift. Faith will save you. I have always told you, in difficult times, in great trials, everyone who prays and trusts will be saved. Why do you sometimes fall into the abyss of despair and mistrust, knowing that I love you and that you have all my protection? If you have not practiced faith, seek it in yourselves, and when you have found it, you will carry it like a lamp to illuminate your path. Then you will be strong, patient, and satisfied with your destiny. 5. I have taught you to pray, and in that prayer we have talked. You have called me in your sufferings and in your hours of peace. Also when you have sinned, you have sought my presence to cry to me with your faults and thus reassure your spirit. My love and my patience are infinite and manifest at each instant between you. 6. The date set for my departure is approaching. My word will cease, but I will remain in spirit in the heart of my disciples. By that time you will have learned to seek me in the inner temple of your being. His greatness will be in faith, in love, and elevation of the spirit. No one will be able to destroy that sanctuary if you have built it firmly. Persevere in my doctrine, so that you may know the mission that I have entrusted to your spirit in all times. 7. Seek me in the infinite with the sensitivity of your spirit, but do not pretend to look at me. Your eyes will not be able to look at my spirit. John, my disciple of the second era, did not contemplate my spirit in his great vision and all its magnitude. I only presented to his spiritual pupil symbols that contained a great mystery, which he with all his elevation failed to interpret. He thanked me for what I had granted him and wrote what he saw and heard in that great image for future generations. 8. Prophets of this time, penetrate with respect into the infinite, and I will grant you beautiful sights that encourage the people and announce the events that are to take place. The children will bear witness from what they have seen. I will grant you great views. The light of my wisdom will descend among you. 9. My word that I have come to transmit at this time has the grace to manifest the ignored teachings by men through the prepared man who fulfills his mission as spokesperson with true understanding. And this grace, at the same time, teaches you to understand through my manifestations the evolution that the Spirit has reached in the third era. 12. All the superfluous customs that man rag like chains will disappear from him when free from the materialism with its new preparation. 13. You will have to raise your voice so that the world hears it. You will be the spokespersons for this good news. 14. If so far there is no perfection in your actions, it is because you have not wanted to transform yourself within my doctrine. You have lacked will, self-denial, and effort, but your spirit wants to rise, eager to get closer to me and fulfill your mission. 15. If men of science proclaim the greatness of their wisdom, it is because they are convinced of it. So that you can talk about my work, you will also have to delve into it until you are certain of its truth. 16. Of what you do not know, understand that you cannot speak or affirm, for fear of falling into a lie or error. When there is preparation, knowledge, and deep faith in you, you will possess the light of truth. 17. See that my teaching is not limited to your concepts and your capacity for understanding. My wisdom divine has no end. There is no one who can say that any of my revelations he knew it or conceived it before I reveal it to him. 18. While scientists try to explain everything through their material knowledge, I reveal to the humble, spiritual life, the essential life, in which is the why, the reason, and the explanation of everything that exists. 19. From the knowledge that you impart, the concept that men form from my work will emerge. Many, for lack of understanding, will judge my doctrine by your humility. As in the second area was Jesus the Christ judged by his humble appearance and his poor clothing, and also because those 12 who continued to show the humility of their clothing. I tell you truly, that they were not covered in rags and that they had only renounced material vanities, because through my teaching they had understood what were the true values of the Spirit. 20. I tell you, disciples, when men get up to study my work and seek and question you, do not go to fall into temptation believing you are superior because of the knowledge that you have received from me. The more humble you show yourselves, more noble and trustworthy they will behold you. 21. Thus, from man to man, the light that dissipates fanaticism and liberates the spirit will penetrate, and those who know, named Christians without being, they will know and interpret the true teachings of Christ through this light, because it will give you a high concept of the spiritual life, of which Jesus spoke in his teachings. 22. Disciples, listen to me, because he who taught you humility and in his love called you brothers, is the same that today comes to speak to you at this time. 23. My secret sanctuary opens before the disciples to make them teachers. Listen to me and study my word so that I send you to the regions and towns to spread my teachings. 24. At this time I speak to you from my wisdom, and my voice is heard in your world through the spokesman from me. 25. Just as in the first era the coming of the Messiah was announced, so I also announce my new coming. And here you have me. 26. In 1866, through Roque Rojas, the spirit of Elijah, the prophet and forerunner, manifested itself to prepare the ways of the Lord, to light a lamp in the hearts of the first, to announce my next arrival and prepare the spokespersons through whom my Holy Spirit would manifest, men and women lacking of material illustration. 27. Through these channels I have come to communicate, so that my word is heard even by those named ministers of God on earth, so that anyone who in any way violates my laws is exempt from following them profane and rise up teaching men the true path that leads to me. 28. Again the scribes and Pharisees will rise to judge and test me. Now it will be, but I say to you, be humble, with this humility that I have been teaching you, so that they recognize you like my disciples. 29. The people of Israel are not yet gathered, because while some are in spirit, others still have flesh. While some are saved, others are on the brink of the abyss. Among these are those believing to love the Father, whom they adore is the golden calf. But the moment is approaching when this people find yourself assembled and prepared. 30. You who are listening to me and who are part of that people are the ones who have come to the voice of my call, that which ringing bell rings to flight, and the reward of your submission and good will you have when listening to the divine word, the same one who spoke to you in Jesus, the Rabbi of Galilee. 31. I teach you not to censor the beliefs and practices of your brothers in their different religions. My doctrine, which is universal, teaches you respect for all beliefs. You know that I am in everyone, the same in the one who is clean, as in the one who is stained by sin. 32. I love everyone and I punish no one. It is my justice that corrects and perfects the spirits. 33. The divine spirit is full of love. In him there is no anger. Believe that if in me, before your offenses and faults, for a moment I felt angry, that moment would be enough to exterminate you. 34. That is why I have come on the white cloud, to make you hear my word, putting away your wickedness, opening the truth to your spiritual eyes, and presenting myself in the desert of your life as a palm tree, under whose shadow you have rested. 35. I have not come to give you material wealth, because if you get everything you turn your back on me. What would you do if I made you wealthy? But truly I tell you, that what I am giving you is more than a gem. It is a treasure. 36. Where do spirits go after bodily death? Your heart does not know it. It does not know those abodes. But you must rise on the path of your spiritual evolution so that your spirit will not penetrate into the valley in darkness. 37. Get up to live a new life, a life of peace. I want you to watch and pray now that destruction threatens humanity. 38. There are those who do not believe in my presence because they judge the poverty and humility of these enclosures and the insignificance of the spokesman for whom I communicate. But if those who doubt so studied the life of Christ, they would see that he never sought finery, nor honors, nor riches. 39. So poor and humble can these places be, like the barn and straw in which I was born at that time. 40. Disciples, you have been at my heavenly table, and in it you have eaten the bread and drunk the wine of my love. 41. From my glory I send my ray to delight you with the concert of my word. 42. I was waiting, as in the past, for your arrival. 43. Sit at my table and surround me. If you are hungry and thirsty, here are the delicacies. Take and eat. If you feel sad or sick, here is my presence to give you health and comfort. 44. Always encourage the hope that you will come to dwell with me eternally. If I have kept my promises to the world, I will also fulfill my promises for spiritual life. 45. Make merits on earth, and you will never lose the path that leads you to me. 46. At this time, you are crossing a new desert, in which you have not perished of hunger, because there has been done the miracle of my word, which has sustained your spirit, as you fed with manna in the solitude of the desert, and then you ate of the loaves and fishes of the miracle of Jesus, also in a desert. 47. Now it is not the desert of burning sands that you are crossing, nor is it the bread of the earth that I am offering you. Now you go to the top of the mountain and feed on the bread of eternal life. Your spirit perfectly understands the figurative sense in which I speak to you, because your spiritual evolution allows you to penetrate to the depths of my teaching. 48. You are climbing the mountain step by step under the weight of your cross. When you get tired, call me and I, the Master, which as the Cyrenian will help you with your burden, so that you can continue until the end of your restitution. You all carry positions and duties. That's why I am with everyone, the same with the child, with the young and with the old. But if it is I who has been tracing destiny and trusting the cross, it is because I know that you can fulfill your mission to your Father. 49. Nobody will be able to determine his degree of spiritual evolution, nor the plane in which his brother is. This only I can judge. 50. I have come to break the chains that bind you to the world, to give you spiritual freedom to rise in search of the light that is the truth. 51. Nobody wants to be the last. You all want to be first. Well, make merits, work, irrigate the lands with love, leave them fruitful, and in them sow my seed. And the generations that come after you will recognize, by your footprint, that you were taught by the Master. 52. Defend your lands with the sword of light that I have given you, so that temptation does not come to ruin your crops. 53. I have offered you glory as a reward for your spiritual work, and in it you will be with your Creator, who has come to you as Father and Teacher to comfort and enlighten you. Here is my teaching in which you will see manifested my love, my righteousness, my justice, and also my advice with which I want to lead you to wisdom. 54. In all times I have manifested myself to man, in a simple way so that he could understand me. Always I have taught within the reach of your understanding and your heart. I have come down to you to give you an example of humility, teaching, in your humble life, to rise to a better life. 55. I have asked you in what way you prefer that I speak to you, and you have answered me that in whatever way I did, you would come to recognize me. Do not put yourself to the test. What you should do is try to spiritualize yourself so that you interpret better my manifestations, and with them you fully testify my doctrine with works of true love. 56. I have always brought you the light and have shown you the upward path. Today I come to prepare you to penetrate with your prayer in a greater ecstasy, and you can contemplate closely the spiritual life and look at your Father in all his splendor over his creatures. 57. My Spirit is calling every spirit to feed understanding of me in your heart, because you are hungry. You have not been able to sustain yourselves with my word. You have not taken advantage of the teachings that I have given you in the times past. The book of life, in which is my law and the mandates, is kept, forgotten by the present world. 58. I have come in spirit, and my presence has moved you. My light has come to you, and your consciousness has remembered all your works. 59. I invite you to enter a new life and conquer a higher spiritual elevation. I have allowed your spiritual evolution through the ages, so that today you understand my revelations, and after having heard me, your spirit accepts all the responsibility that corresponds to you and to embrace your mission with love. 60. How will you manage to invite humanity to attain spirituality in a time of so much materialism and confusion? Think that your work is difficult, that in order to fulfill it, you have to be strong and patient in the fight. You must work hard to correct the erroneous interpretation that has been given to my law, and also the imperfect way in which you offer me your worship. But you must consider that you will not be able to change their concepts and practices in an instant. Rather, to achieve this you must clothe yourself with patience and goodwill and set an example of love with your works. 61. In the first era, your offerings were material. Your tributes were innocent beings, lambs or birds, seeds and fruits of the fields with which you believed to please me. You were very small and you could not look beyond your world. I granted you time after time, always waiting for your awakening. 62. In the second era you received my word through Jesus, and he taught you the most perfect love that a child can offer to his father. And with his word, he opened the new world to the spirit of men. He left you a wealth of wisdom that you have not yet come to understand. Today, in the third era, I am opening the book of life to you, and I am showing you new lessons that speak to you of the proximity of my spirit, of the age of peace that awaits man after his purification and spiritual elevation. 63. All these lessons live in the depths of your spirit. Now I teach you so that tomorrow you will be guides and teachers of the new generations and watch over their spirit. so that useless or false traditions do not take root in knowledge. Carry in your spirit the law and my word. With it instruct and lead on the right path to humanity that begins to live. 64. I have not sent Moses or the prophets to bring you this message. I myself have come to prepare you, to make you give a decisive step on the spiritual path. 65. Watch and pray. Always meditate and practice my teaching so that you can know the magnitude of this revelation of the third era. My peace be with you.